Welcome to the Driven Podcast. Today's conversation is with Josh Rogers, the owner of Fit6. A former quarterback at the University of South Carolina, Josh has taken the discipline of athletics and built a health approach that works in real life. We dive deep into everything from the pros and cons of Ozempic and fasting, how a cleanse can reset your system, and the surprisingly smart way that you can still go out and celebrate a birthday or an anniversary at a steakhouse or enjoy a football game at a sports bar while still sticking to your health goals. He shares his list of absolute no-go foods and why cutting them out is so critical if you want long-term results. Whether it's celebrating with friends or watching the big game or just figuring out what your body needs, Josh has a great down-to-earth, realistic, results-focused perspective that makes fitness practical and doable. Today's episode is sponsored by Driven Relationships, where business growth starts with genuine human connection. At Driven, we believe that loyalty and referrals don't come from transactions, they come from trust. If you are ready to build lasting client relationships and stand out in a noisy digital world, visit drivenrelationships.com. Hey, Josh.
Hi, how you doing, Kelly?
I'm so good. I'm so glad you're here. Josh is the owner of Fit6 in Cave Creek. And I have personally done a fitness challenge with Josh. And I was just talking to him before we started recording and saying, I don't want to tell him this, but I really enjoy his program. And I'm not doing it anymore because it was just an 8-week challenge. And it was so good. I actually noticed a difference in my body. So
That's awesome. I'm
you're
glad to
awesome.
hear.
Tell us a little bit about Fit6 and like what it looks like when you come in and work out there.
So Fit6 is a program I developed with what I call my 6 pillars of fitness. And the reason I came up with these pillars is I'm 47 years old. I believe you and I are very similar in age.
Mhm.
And because I've been in shape my whole life, I've always been a gym rat. I've been an athlete my whole life. So it's just kind of kept me in the gym. The gym's been like a second home to me always. And so as I've aged and taken really good care of myself, I've watched kind of my muscle mass deteriorate. I watched my joints deteriorate. And I'm like thinking to myself, if this is happening to my body, what's happening to the everyday person that doesn't get a chance to really work on their body like I've had a chance to? And so, why don't I create a program that adheres to those things and addresses those things? So, the 6 pillars go like this. We do a dynamic stretch. So, the first thing we do is we're moving the body, we're stretching it, really something that's easy, meant to be something that just warms up the body, elongates the muscles so we don't pull things, right? Then we go into mobility. Mobility is all about really creating big range of motion in the muscles and the joints. This is an area where we really want to work on posture. And so we do that. And then we go into what's called HIIT. That's a pretty common term, your high intensity training. That's probably your favorite, right? Where the heart rate gets really high. And then from there we go into power and we pick one body part and we really just rep it out, do what we call burnout sets. And then we go into a different area of the core. So one thing people don't understand about the core is it's so many areas. Of course, it's your abdominals, right? But it's also your obliques, your hips, your glutes, your low back. So we work on all those areas, really get specific with it, and then we finish with a static stretch. So that's Fit6 in a nutshell. We really focus on strength of the body, mobility of the body. And then if you're someone that really wants to change lifestyle, which we really, really promote, especially in what you talked about with our challenge, we go through nutrition.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I loved you did a body scan for me.
Mhm.
That was really cool. How frequently do you do a body scan with people and what does that show, the body scan?
Yeah, so our body scan, it's a 3D composition scan. We call it a DEXA read. So what that means in layman's terms is it takes water weight of the body and it puts it on a body fat measurement, right? So one of the things that people miss a lot when they're training and they really want to set goals and really want to get lean is water retention on the body, how it happens, how to get rid of it, right? So we test for that. And of course, our nutritional plans aid you to make sure that your sodium count, that really happens with salt, right? So we look at that, and then on the answer the question on how often, if you're doing a challenge, we do it every week. So
Okay.
to take things one step further on the scan, we really look at muscle growth, right? Because think about muscle as like gold. We really want it. We want to keep it. We don't want to lose it. Doesn't matter what your goal is or who you are or your age, that has to stay at a premium. And then from there, we really want to focus on cutting fat. So those scans really show us that in great, great detail.
Yeah. Josh, something that's changed for me, as I've become middle-aged, I'm 45. I'm a lot younger than you. I'm 2 years younger than you. Is, I was so focused on calorie counting when I
Mm.
was skinny. Um, and when you did the body scan for me, you were like, you know what, you need to eat more protein and you probably need to gain 5 pounds. Which I'm sorry, people probably gonna punch me for saying that. But I think I was so focused on like, I need to be thin. And as I've gotten older, I realize I need to be strong because I want to be able to get myself off of the ground. I could never do a push-up, like more than one push-up in a row or even push-ups from my toes until more recently. And I do think you played a role in it. I do hot Pilates, but Josh, I did 10 push-ups in a row last week.
Love it. I love it.
Isn't that crazy?
That's awesome. And so you were saying the word thin, right? I want
Yeah.
everyone, you included, to replace that word thin with fit.
Mm-hmm.
Because as and I talked about earlier, like why I created Fit6. As we age, the muscle just naturally deteriorates, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it becomes harder to build. And so I always, it's very simple terminology and it's very simple comparison. I always talk about food as fuel, just like in a car. So your
Mm-hmm.
car is not going to go anywhere unless we put gas in it. Well, that's
Mm-hmm.
what food is for us. Our body's not going to go where we want it to go unless we give it nutrition. And
Mm-hmm.
nutrition has to happen in my world every 3 hours. We're telling people eat every 3 hours and it's macro based. You want to have a carb, you want to have a fat, you want to have a protein.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so there's a few things I want to ask you about. What about fasting? So a couple years ago, I would fast I think it was Thursdays. I would fast on Thursdays because that was my networking day
Once
and
a week.
a long day of meetings. And so I would just like,
Yeah.
it was easy for me to fast.
Mm-hmm.
I actually felt like pretty good. I felt like thin. And there are a lot of benefits to that. What are your thoughts on fasting?
So it's kind of to me a pro and a con. So the easiest way to break it down, and it's ironic that you brought that up because next week I'm in my let's see, the Fit6 has been open now for 3.5 years, and we start doing these challenges every
Mhm.
quarter.
Okay.
Okay, so we're about to start. We're in the middle of one right now, and I teamed up with a lady who is a she calls herself a herbologist. I think I pronounced it
Okay.
right. And so, anyways, she takes different teas along with a couple other ingredients, and she creates. She does other things too, but this is the thing that we're utilizing her for. She creates cleanses. And so I'm going to try
Oh.
my first cleanse ever next week, and everyone in the challenge is going to be doing it, setting, excuse me, depending on who they are, for 2 to 3 days.
So you're going to be hangry?
Yeah, we'll find out. I don't know.
Oh gosh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're going to give
So
it a
back to the pros and the cons. The reason why I'm putting it in, I'm a firm believer in all just our environment, our food. There's so many toxins. Okay.
Yeah,
And so
right.
it just gets stuck in us. And there's
Mm-hmm.
no way to really get it out. So we're just kind of holding on to it. And
Mm-hmm.
then I've been doing research and talking to experts about where it gets stored, no matter male or female, it's getting stored in that lower abdomen. And so when people talk about that last little bit of whatever it is there in that lower abdomen, normally is what they're talking about. I guarantee they're part of that weight is toxins and just stuff that we need to get rid of that's just kind of holding on, right? It might not even be fat based. It might just be, simple as just water weight, but it's just toxins that we need to get rid of. So the point of the cleanse is to get rid of all that, right? Kind of get a
Okay.
restart, a
Mhm.
refresh. Okay. A lot of people feel that I've talked to, they get a lot more energy from doing cleanses, but the downfall is you're going to lose a lot of muscle mass. So
Right.
that's where I'm telling people, they have a choice between 48 hours and 72 hours. And then I'm also, it's not a total fast. They're getting 1 to 2 meals a day based on food meals, based on
Okay.
what their hunger level is. And they're going to be high protein, low carb meals.
Okay. Yeah, because it's hard to work out when you're fasting
Yes.
or if you're cleansing. You have to
And
have some,
normally, like you hear the term, a lot of people talk now about intermittent fasting. That's what people are doing daily. And
right?
I'm not a big believer in that. I think
Okay.
it's something to do once in a while, like say once a quarter, to kind of do a reset and get some of that, like I said, toxicity out of you.
Hmm.
Alcohol is another one that really, really contributes to that. And
Yeah.
so it's good for that, but to do intermittent fasting daily. So I've talked to a lot of people, they don't start eating until like noon,
Right.
and then they have their second meal at dinner time. And so for me, that first part of the day is the most important as far as nutrition goes.
Mhm.
Yeah, I hear you
Are you
sign.
talking to me? Are you talking to me right now?
I'm talking to
I'm the
everyone
worst. I
else.
mean, Josh, I've had 2 cups of coffee and I've had electrolytes in my water. I've had a lot of water. I probably won't eat for another 2 hours.
So what are you feeding when you take that in?
What do you mean? What am I feeding?
Yeah, like what you're getting from what you just.
Well, I don't know. I'm not getting anything. I have caffeine.
Yeah, you're feeding stimulants, right?
Oh,
So
okay. Yeah.
what we need to do is feed our body, feed our muscles, feed. Have you worked out yet?
I walked. I'm not walking. I'm working out this afternoon. Well, I'm doing my Pilates. I know you think that's not a workout, but I can do
It's
10
a
push-ups,
compliment to
Josh.
a workout. I think Pilates is great. I think it's a great compliment to Fit6. I'm a big believer in flexibility as we age, mobility, and then
Yeah.
fitting the muscle. Like when you watch people as they age, um, and that's one of the reasons why I chose Cave Creek. It's a perfect demographic for what we're looking for.
Okay.
And so, as we age, things become shorter. You watch when people walk, their strides are shorter. Maybe,
Mm,
maybe they're a little more hunched over. Maybe they can't get their arms above their head. So, anyways, I'm a big believer in anything that progresses all that.
yeah.
It's not taking the place of an actual workout. There's other elements that need to happen.
Yeah. The problem with you is that you are an hour from my house, and I have worked out at your gym twice. And then I've done with the challenge, we were working out at like a central location with a group of people.
Right.
Um, so you've been considering maybe doing online personal training or maybe group fitness. Talk to me about that, like your ideas. I don't think you've implemented anything yet on
So
maybe.
yeah. So I'm glad you brought that up because you're a perfect example of why I'm doing what I'm doing because I have a lot of people from my past or even my present that want to train, but for different geographic reasons or maybe even schedule reasons, they can't come to Fit
Yeah.
Six, right? So I'm doing online training, and what I'm specializing in right now are 30-minute sessions. They're private. It's real simple.
Okay.
I just do a video call, kind of like what you and I are doing right now.
Mhm.
And then, I kind of want to get a little bit of a heads up on the equipment they have and what we're going to have access to.
Okay.
And then I already know going into it based on their goals that they've told me, what we're going to focus on. It's 30 minutes, it's go. Most of the time, they're going to be wearing a heart rate device so I can monitor the
Okay.
heart rate, because Fit6, I don't know if I talked about that before, but it's heart rate driven. So when you want to get really, really efficient and smart with your training time,
Mhm.
you do it based on heart rate.
Yeah. Okay. Well, when I was doing a workout, I was wearing someone else's monitor because I didn't have one, but at one point you told me I was too high. My heart
Mhm.
rate was too high and that I was burning muscle.
Yep.
So what's the zone you want to be in for that perfect, like you're burning fat?
Yeah, great question. So let's a lot of people talk in terms of zones 1 through 5, right?
Okay.
And so we talk about it in colors at Fit6, but we'll
Yeah.
we'll talk about it in both. I'll name it both. So you were in what we call the red zone, which is zone 5, your highest zone, right?
Mhm.
That's your 90 percentile of your max heart rate and up. And so when you stay in that zone, it's good to increase cardiovascular capacity. It's good to kind of increase that elasticity in your lungs, right? But
Mhm.
it's bad if you stay there because it comes counterproductive to building muscle. In fact, it burns it. And then
Okay.
also after that, if you're in there for a while, it depletes adrenals. You ever heard people that do a lot of cardio that talk about their adrenals being low?
Mhm.
So that's why we don't want to be there. And then to answer your
Okay.
question, the best spot to be if you're trying to maintain muscle mass and get a good fat burning zone is that 75% to 80% max heart rate.
Okay. What is that?
So that would be zone 3 to 4.
Okay. So for a 45-year-old woman, what is that heart rate? Is it very,
So yeah, so good question. So think about, and there's a little more, of a formula to it, but think about max heart rate in the basis of 220 minus your age. So
okay.
220 minus 45, your age, you're looking at 175, and
Okay.
then you want to be 80% of that. So
Okay.
80% of 175 is going to run you about somewhere in that 145 to 150 beats per minute.
Okay. Okay. Makes
So,
sense.
I mean, if you don't even have one of our MyZone heart rate devices, most people have an Apple Watch. Just look at your beats per minute.
Okay. It's good to know. Speaking of fat burning or fat muscle burning, I don't know. Ozempic is really what I want to talk about. What are your thoughts on Ozempic? I have personal feelings about it. I'd
Mhm.
like to know what a professional thinks about Ozempic. Is there a place for it? A lot of people are doing it. A lot of people, even who work out a lot, are doing it. What are your thoughts?
So my thoughts are there's a spot for it for people that need mass weight loss. Okay. I'm talking,
Okay.
they're obese. Okay.
Okay.
And I would say in terms of 100 plus pounds I need to lose, but
Okay.
it's very temporary. All right. So I
Okay.
see this for people. I know numerous people right now that are on it that should be on it, and I know numerous people that are on it that should not be on it. So
Okay.
let me just put it to you like this: the people that should not be on it are the people that are looking to stay thin. Thin, there's that word. And the reason why they want to do that is because they almost, most times anyway, I don't want to label everyone, but most times there's some kind of fear with food,
Mm,
some kind of fear with eating, overeating, knowing what to eat. So what Ozempic does is it completely just restricts appetite. And then after a
yeah.
while, you're shrinking your stomach.
Hmm.
Okay, so that's good for people that are like pre-diabetic, and because to me, that's where it's really needed. If someone's on the forefront of becoming a diabetic, yes, all by all means, Ozempic, it really is a good fit, and then get 30, 40, 50 pounds off them, right? But
Okay.
but for the common person that needs to lose 20, 25 or less, no, you got to do it the
Okay.
right way. It's a shortcut.
Yeah. So say someone needs to lose 25 pounds. Where would you start with them?
Good question. So, the first thing we do is at Fit6, we get them on our body composition scan. And the reason I do that, just like in business, right? Because you and I know each other through business.
Hmm.
You need to know your numbers. So
Yeah.
think about what you learned from the scan as like a mini business plan for
Hmm.
what we need to do to have success in our business to create profitability, right? So what I do is I want to get the person on the scan, and I really want to know. I mean, you'll very rarely hear us talk about the scale weight. We're always talking
Okay.
about fat pounds versus muscle pounds.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I want to know where they're at with that, their body fat percentage. And then from there, we go into a customized 7 day macro base. So when I say macro base, that's your proteins, your carbohydrates, and your fats make up a caloric diet needed to hit your goals. And I would split that out 5 to 6 meals a day, 7 days a week. That would be the
Okay. What about these people that travel a lot or they have a big social life or they do drink alcohol or they don't have the time to meal prep
right.
or don't want to spend the time? I mean, for me, sometimes when I look at this meal prep, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so much food. And it feels like a full-time job eating 5 to 6 meals a day. Are there ways to still do it and not take over your life?
Yeah, so the term that we use a lot at Fit6 is lifestyle. I always talk about lifestyle, right? So the one thing in my life that I will always keep front and center, being a dad, being active. I'm in a relationship with a lovely lady who keeps me on my toes, and definitely wants to go out and live life. So there's lifestyle with that, right? So in lifestyle, that's what I believe everyone should be on. That's what we preach at Fit6. But you got to know the parameters. You got to know the boundaries, right? So if I go out and eat, I need to know what to order. I need to know what to stay away from. And then if I go and I drink alcohol, I need to know what to have, what to stay away from, right? So let me
Yeah.
give you a good example with alcohol, right? So I always tell people, let's just be simple, okay? The best thing that you could do is have red wine.
Okay.
And if people love alcohol, then I would say, if you want, get a nice higher end agave tequila and just put on the rocks.
Hmm.
Other than that, you want to stay away from dark liquors. You want to stay away from any kind of mixes that have sugar.
Yeah.
You want to stay away from beer. You want to stay away
Mm-hmm.
from white wine.
Hmm.
So that would be but we just get boundaries. We get, and then we say,
Yeah.
hey, you can do it, and that's reality, right? There's no one that can just go 100% commit to
Hmm.
working out and fitness and being perfect. It's within parameters of how they want to live, what they want their lifestyle to be like, and then it matches, right? It has to match whatever your goal is. You can't have a goal that's up here and then your lifestyle's here, right? So there's
Hmm.
nothing wrong, but they have to match. There's nothing wrong with doing what you said, traveling and having alcohol, going out to eat, but we need to know how to order. We need to know the
Mhm.
importance of good carbs versus bad carbs, good fats versus bad fats. Again, the importance of salt.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So what would be a perfect meal out at a steakhouse? Say you go to Steak 44 to celebrate an anniversary or a birthday. What would be
Yeah.
the perfect thing to order at Steak 44? And I'm talking appetizers, I want alcohol, and maybe even a little dessert. Like what would be like, and this it is a little bit of a splurge. So you're probably eating more calories.
hmm
So what's the perfect thing to order?
So let's say I'm you, okay? Let's say I'm Kelly. So, hey, yeah, I want to order for an appetizer. I want the tuna tartare or
Okay.
like an ahi tuna steak, just slivered, real lean, right? So you got lean protein for the appetizer. And then for the entree, we want to do like a filet.
Okay.
So say a 6 ounce petite. And then
Mhm.
here's the key. You tell them, hey, listen, I'm a really nice girl. I'm not high maintenance, but I need my steak cooked with no salt, no butter. Can you do that?
Oh, that sounds terrible.
No, not if it's a high
Okay.
end meat. You're steak 44. You're supposed to be getting a
Okay.
high end piece of steak.
Okay.
You only got to
Okay.
butter up and salt up the low level meat.
Okay. Okay. All right. So, all right, that's good. Okay, keep going. Didn't mean to interrupt.
So and then on top of that, give me a green vegetable you like.
Okay.
You
Same
know,
thing, like not a ton of butter, not a ton of salt,
you would say steamed,
steamed.
steamed.
Okay.
Yeah, and then
Can I ask for butter and salt on the side so I can maybe sprinkle?
you can just understand those are things that are going to help you retain water. So if you want to live a little bit, you can, have a little bit, but in excess, absolutely not. But if you want just on the side,
Mhm.
that's a good way to do it. The other good thing that is a good substitute that's healthy is like lemon juice, fresh squeezed
Okay.
lemon juice, especially at a
Yeah.
place like that. That's a great
Mhm.
way to do it. You mentioned dessert. Dessert could be a lot of those places have fresh. I always just do this when I went to like Ocean Club. I wanted the bowl of fresh berries, and they have
Mhm.
really good whipped cream.
Oh, okay.
So the whipped cream would be the cheat,
Yeah.
but strawberries are the best fruit that you can eat. It's the lowest glycemic index.
Mhm.
Mhm. And
Um,
then and then for your drink, you get a bottle. You get a bottle of red wine.
the entire bottle, or I share that with who I'm dining with.
That's up to you, Kelly.
Okay. That all sounds very luxurious and very nice. Okay, so say you're at a bar. Say you go watch the game, you're going to watch the Cardinals play, or you're going to watch the Gamecocks play on a Saturday, and you're
Nice.
meeting up with your friends at the bar. What would you order there?
Ooh. Okay, so I'm at the bar now, and I'm watching football. So I
And it's
want,
a 4-hour game, so like you're going to
yeah,
be eating and drinking
you're
or
gonna be
hanging out.
eating. Yeah, you're gonna be eating. So we can skirt the levels a little bit here,
Okay.
and I would say we can do wings.
Okay.
Okay, but the thing with wings that'll kill you is the sauce.
Yeah.
So we don't want them fried,
Okay.
and we don't want sauce.
Okay.
So the best way to order wings would be there are a lot of places that have what's called lemon pepper wings.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So that's the best
Yeah.
way to season them. So that would
Yeah.
be an option. Um, it's not very manly, but I would say order a salad with chicken. That's another
Mm-hmm.
option. Balsamic for the dressing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but you definitely can't do things that are fried. You can't do
Yeah.
things with cheese.
Yeah.
Um, you want to stick with lean protein. And
Yeah.
so like another thing would be um sliders with no bun, Kelly.
Okay.
Yeah, you could do that.
Fun, fun.
You could do like a blackened chicken sandwich with a wheat bun,
Okay.
and then for drinks, we're at a game, we're watching football, gotta have a beer, Mick Ultra.
Okay. Okay. Michelob
Mm-hmm.
Ultra. That seems manageable. I feel like that's
Doable, right?
yeah, that sounds like fun. And I think my husband and I have done our lifestyle is pretty healthy. Like my cheat is like a starch, like potatoes. Like I
Mhm.
almost made myself ill a couple weekends ago. I made roasted potatoes and I thought my whole family was going to be here, but then it was just my husband and I probably ate like 3 pounds of roasted potatoes. Like I mean, I feel like our lifestyle is a lot of that. We do a lot of dry rubs on chicken wings.
That's good.
We put them on the Traeger and smoke them, grill them. We eat at home almost all of the time.
Yeah.
It was funny last night. It was my daughter's birthday, and my husband went grabbed takeout from a local Greek restaurant, and it was delicious. But I went and worked out afterwards, and I was so thirsty during the entire workout. I couldn't get enough water, and I was so like I felt like I was pregnant. I think I was
Yeah,
reaching
this is
that. There
perfect.
was
This is
so much
perfect.
salt, so
There
much
you go.
salt.
There you go.
So much salt, and it was delicious. And all night last night, I was so thirsty. Um,
So what happens when your body intakes all that salt? So
it
you're
then,
obviously you're getting thirsty, right?
yeah, then
So now
it,
you're trying to pound liquids, but then the water just kind of holds on you,
mhm.
right? So if you ever seen someone, I was watching someone in the gym today, and they were just sweating profusely. And it's good to sweat, don't get me wrong, but to over sweat, there's things wrong with that, right? So
Okay.
I was talking to this person about why so much sweat. It's like, oh, I had a long weekend, I had drinks, I ate out. Eating out's a killer when it comes to salt because every restaurant's cooking food to taste good. So to taste good,
Yeah.
they're pinching salt, they're putting all kinds of seasoning in it, and so you just saw it pouring out of them. Well, it's a good thing it was coming out finally, right? But a lot of us, especially if you don't just really stay hydrated, it just sticks. So if you can get a sodium intake of somewhere between 1,500 milligrams and 2,000 milligrams a day, like I really, really encourage everyone to start looking on the back of foods and nutrition facts and just looking at the sodium. Because it's I would say from my experience on the people I work with, it's the most overlooked thing that people really aren't conscious of. They don't have an awareness of.
I love salt. I buy Malden sea salt by the bucket, Josh. I think I have it on like auto order from Amazon like every 2 months. It's a huge bucket.
Hmm.
I love
Yeah, I
salt.
mean, yeah, no, but a lot of foods have salt naturally in it. So,
Yeah. So I've started, I do canned black beans and I've stopped ordering. I only order no salt added
mhm.
because I do like to control it and I like my good salt on it. Like if I'm going to salt it, I want it to be good salt and like a finishing salt. I also put salt on my cookies. I know those are terrible, but if I do make chocolate chip cookies, I
Salt on
I
it.
put salt. They're so
You
good.
like that sugar and
If
salty
I am
mint?
going to do a cookie, like if I'm going to make good cookies, I mean, everyone loves that. It brings out the flavor. It's so
I can
delicious.
see how that could taste good.
It's amazing. Next time I make them, I will save you one and
Yeah,
I'll
same one. Okay.
um okay, so I have seen people be transformed by working with you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if someone is 25 pounds overweight, on average, how long would it take them to start seeing results? How long would it take someone else to look at them and be like, oh gosh, what are you doing different? Like, because sometimes I think it can get really discouraging if you don't start seeing results. So, how long do you think it would take someone who's trying to lose 25 pounds, gain some muscle, start feeling and looking fit?
I mean, it changes person to person. I think the
Yeah.
one thing, I mean, you hear my tagline at our business meetings. My tagline is "We promise it's different." And the biggest thing, I've been doing this thing since, let's see, I created my first gym concept in 2003, which was actually in the casita of my house,
Okay.
which was pretty cool because it evolved into my first commercial place. But the one thing that I've always hammered home with everyone that I'm working with is you got to make lifestyle changes, and you got to understand that you didn't gain the 25 overnight. You're not going to lose
Yeah.
overnight.
Mhm.
You really have to practice consistency, and
Yeah.
it's all about habits.
Yep.
There's nothing truer, and this goes in every frame of life, but it's no truer than in health and fitness. We are a resemblance of our habits. What goes in our
Yep.
mouth, our exercise, our sleep. And the one thing
Mhm.
now, which is kind of crappy, but it is what it is. Our food is so contaminated now that we eat,
Mm.
and that's not our fault. But with the way food is made now, there are so much extras in it. Just
Mhm.
so I'm not going to get into that, but
Yeah.
just know the food is not what they say it is. It's not whole. So
Mhm.
there's almost like an investment that has to go into making sure that we, put a good amount of value into what we put in our mouth. And so,
Yeah.
like, I look at people that it's a shame at like how much processed food people eat now,
I know.
and it just gets stored on you. And the worst part is, um, I'm a big believer that I think that's what leads to cancer. There's a lot of things in foods and
Mhm.
what's like soda. Don't get me started
Mhm.
about soda. That's the worst. But what's in that stuff that just there's so many fillers. Like as much as I didn't want to get on the organic bandwagon, I mean, it's like anything else. You get what you pay for. And so
Yeah.
there are, that's why places like Sprouts exist because their food is as real as you can get. Now it's really, really pricey, but
Mhm.
when you're looking at hey, if I really want to change my lifestyle, I really got to start paying more attention to, am I eating fast food? I have like a list of absolute no-nos that you just got to get off your plate forever. And I'm sorry, but it's just the way it is. And fast food's at the top of the list.
Okay.
And so once people start like the first time I sit someone down, it's a Q&A. I'm talking to them about what their daily life consists of, what are their bad habits, what. So a lot of times, a lot of people drink a lot of soda, whether it be diet or regular, both are bad for you. And
Yeah.
so I just talk to them, hey, let's just eliminate that right from the start. And if someone has one of these big bad habits, boom, right away, they see results in the first week. So
Okay.
that gets someone motivated right away. And hopefully that pain button of getting sick and tired of being sick and tired is enough to be like, all right, I'm good with giving up soda. I'm good with giving up sugar. I'm good with calling coffee my breakfast, you know?
Uh-huh, I do know. Yeah, I think in some ways it'd be easier to lose 25 pounds than like the final five. I think I go up and down this like 5 pound thing. And I've kind of stopped getting on the scale because I can sometimes like worry about it too much. I think what you've said is so true. Have it be a lifestyle.
Yeah.
90% of the time, stick to the lifestyle that is healthy and good. You can have your cheat times of eating a piece of cake or having a dirty martini, but stick to.
When I do people's meal plans, Kelly, I ask them, do you want me to put in a cheat meal for you? It's not a cheat day, but it's a cheat meal.
Okay.
It's a
Okay.
cheat meal. So for me, and people ask me like why I post this on my social media, but I like to just show people that I'm real and I
Yeah.
I like what you guys like. So if I'm gonna have a cheat meal, you best believe I'm going over to In-N-Out and getting a double double.
Yeah. With no bun.
No, I'm bunning it.
Oh, we bun in it. Okay. Okay.
Bunning it. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I don't do fries though. To me, I
Okay.
don't see any. There's no use for me in fries. I
Mm,
love the double double because I'm a meat guy. So of course I
yeah.
love the protein in the
So
meat.
good.
Mhm.
If they had sweet potato fries though at In-N-Out, that might be a different story. Do you like sweet potato fries?
I do. Yeah.
That's what we had last night. So I had my like Greek bowl and then my husband ordered sweet potato fries on the side. That was the problem. I should have
There you
not.
go. As long as they're baked, right? You can't fry them as
They
long
were
as
not baked. They were definitely fried. They were so good. What are some of the other definitely no-nos really quick on that? You said like no fast food,
no fast food. Stay
no.
away from processed food. So one of
Okay.
the things that I have on my checklist for social media, maybe one day you and I can go together. I want to do a really thorough grocery shopping tour.
Okay. Oh, that'd be fun.
So
Okay.
people understand, like, because there's such a wide range of what's good for you and bad for you in a grocery store,
Hmm.
and it can really be simplified with just the geographic layout of the store.
Yeah. Hmm.
And so much of what is useful to you is on the outskirts.
Yep.
Everything in the middle is absolutely processed and
Yep.
man-made.
Yep.
So that's one. The other one's ice cream, which is all my daughters. I have three daughters. They absolutely love ice creams almost like daily. So they're kids. Why not? But if you're an adult trying to really stay lean, don't do it. Um,
Okay. Even ice cream for bears. Have you ever had that? It's like honey,
ice
cream.
cream for bears? No.
It's like all natural ingredients. My
Yeah.
daughter's like, this is healthy. I'm like, it's
Well, I mean, you can
no,
be
they're
like,
whole ingredients, but it's not healthy. That's not, you're not going to like get super fit eating ice cream for bears.
probably not. It's probably just switched to where instead of all the sugar, it's
Yeah.
just a lot of fat. But
Yeah.
it probably tastes like it's like Tom
Delicious.
Brady. He used to eat avocado ice cream. You ever heard that story?
Oh no. Mm-mm.
Yeah, he would eat. I don't know who made it for him, but he would eat avocado ice cream.
Hmm. Okay. As a replacement.
Yeah, for like a
Okay.
sweet. I don't know what he did to make it sweet, but I know that he
Okay.
used to eat with avocados.
Okay. Okay. So no ice cream.
I-
Um,
So ice cream. The other one is this is everyone's favorite too, me included, pizza.
okay. That's
Yeah,
terrible.
yeah. And then
You're just a fun sponge, Josh.
no, I know. But you know what though? If people do want to have it, just if you do have it, that's fine. You gotta live, right? Just
Yeah.
it's portion control.
Yeah. One slice. I would say I don't do a ton of pizza. On occasion, we'll go to like the local pizza place where it's like the thin crust. But I try to keep.
That's a quick little easy switch to make it a lot healthier, the crust.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I've seen a lot of like Instagram or TikTok reel or like Instagram reels or TikTok videos of like a protein pizza where it's like,
Yeah. They have that. They have cauliflower crust.
yes,
Hmm.
yeah. I think if you can learn to enjoy other things though, it's just as good. Well, you know what I love that makes me kind of feel like I'm eating pizza is I fry up some garlic with red
Mm,
pepper flakes, salt and pepper, not
nice.
a lot of salt. And then I put in 2 cans of fire roasted tomatoes and I just cook that down until it kind of thickens up. Then very thinly sliced goat cheese, put it on there, and then put it in the broiler. And you're supposed to start with crackers, but my husband and I just eat it like with a spoon, or we'll put it on top of chicken. And it's so good and it feels like really comforting.
Sounds spicy.
Yes, it's like a really good, and it almost tastes like that pizza sauce, like a thick,
Yeah,
like deep dish pizza. So it's really good.
sounds
Um,
good.
okay, so there's so many things I could talk to you about. I want to just touch really quickly on you've overcome a lot of stuff.
Mm,
I've just done you're a dad of 4. Can we just touch a little bit on your personal life and then we'll kind of wrap this up. But like tell me a little bit about raising 4 kids and your son is playing at the collegiate level
yeah.
in football.
Um, for the longest time of my life and still today, my identity has always been a family guy, family man, family first, kids first.
Mhm.
And just recently, I went through a fairly rough divorce, which was tough. As a mother of my children, we were married for almost 20 years.
Mm.
And it taught me a lot. And it
Mhm.
was something that had to happen. And it's without going into too much detail, it was one of those things that was really hard on the kids. So the one thing that I learned was, and I was already, and I say this humbly, a good dad. And so it just taught me how to be more present and to make sure, it was to see it. I had 2 avenues I could take. I could take the poor me avenue,
Mhm.
because it was tough. You moving homes and all the stuff that goes with divorce.
Mhm.
Um, but I wanted to come out the other end, and I credit a lot of this to Bonnie when I was working with her.
Yeah,
Um,
she's like a therapist, personal coach, life coach.
you
Okay.
know, and so it was now deemed of, why did this happen for me? It didn't happen to me. Why did it happen for me? And so then
Mhm.
I started changing my mindset on how I could be a more present dad, how I
Mhm.
can teach my kids how to thrive through adversity,
Mhm.
um, how I can lead with love and not hate,
Mhm.
and just really search for the real me. Because for a while, I think divorce happens a lot because people lose themselves and they try to be someone they're not, or they try to change their partner to be someone they're not,
Mhm.
and it just doesn't work. And
Mhm.
so I was in there, and it's been a restart. And so the one thing with my kids is, they have gone through adversity and they have thrived and they've seen what it's like to understand life can throw some crappy stuff at you, right? But it's how you respond to it, it's how you react to it, right? And so I give them all credit. My son, our oldest, he's battled through all that, and he is now playing college football in San Diego. So I'm
That's
really
awesome.
proud of him. Just went to his game over the weekend.
Mm.
Then my daughter, straight A student. She's the captain of her pom team, does competitive dance. She's probably going to get a dance scholarship,
Mhm.
and very proud of her. She's just so focused. She actually works a couple jobs, one of which is at my gym, and she's also a hostess at a restaurant. And
Good.
so she just stays go. She's
Mhm.
Miss Social Queen. And then my 15-year-old, she's a cheerleader. She's the flyer. She's the one they throw up in
Oh,
the
yeah.
air. Right? Was that you?
No, heck no. Too tall, too big.
And so she's just a natural. She's a natural athlete, and she's been on varsity ever since she was a freshman. She's a sophomore now. Has just so many different talents to her, and she's also a very good student. And then we have an 11-year-old who she's just kind of the wild card of the family, keeps everyone going. She was the one through the divorce that just kind of kept all of her brothers and sisters giggling with a smile. Um, just because especially when you're 11, and when she was going through it too, she was 10. They're in
Mhm.
their own world. I don't think they fully get it, nor should
Right.
they. Nor should they. They're kids. You know what I mean? So I really didn't talk a ton about it, and she just is always full of laughs. She's really really tight with my new girlfriend Marissa. In fact, the three of us are going to Benson Boone tomorrow night.
Oh, that's right. Ben Sapoon's in
Yeah,
town.
it's wicked.
Fun.
But anyways, my kids are awesome. They've been through a lot. They've thrived. And I think I'm not guilty dad that spoils my kids too much.
Mm,
and probably doesn't make them work enough in the past for things. And now I had no choice but to, they had to face some harsh realities and they had to work for things a little harder just because there was a little more of a need for them to be independent because it was
yeah,
their environment wasn't as structured and stable as it was before. So they
yeah,
kind of come through and grow up quickly.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I think kids who go through that, they do learn to grow up
You
more
have to.
quickly.
Yeah.
And I think there's pros and cons to that. I think they have to choose at a young age who they are going to become.
Hmm.
I think sometimes when it's this soft and or not soft, but just like it's a very stable environment that they get used to that and they almost take it for granted that like there's just such a safety net in that and they're not forced to decide who they are because like, oh, my mom is good, my dad is good, this is good. I don't have to worry about me. I can just float about. But when you have to decide how you're going to handle adversity and who you're going to become,
Yeah. It's a different ball game.
it really is.
And to their credit, they ran with it, you know. And the other thing that's too cool that I've watched is I watched them grow closer together, you
That's
know.
a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so that's been really rewarding watching that part.
Good.
And to their credit too, the one thing that their mom and I have in common, we've always been really good parents. So that, you know,
Mhm.
that's always going to be a given and a very committed thing from both her and I for the rest of their lives.
What advice would you have for someone who is currently going through a divorce with children? If someone's in your same spot, like if you could talk to someone at the start of this, I think it's a very highly elevated situation. Your emotions are very high. You may be angry. You may be hurt. You may be immature on your own level and not able to handle your own situation. And then now you have to navigate being a parent. What is some advice you could give to someone in that spot? Like, what are some things like day one, commit to not doing this or doing this? Do you have anything you would share with anyone?
Yes, I do. First things first, don't ever badmouth their
Mhm.
other parent. Don't ever
Amen.
badmouth your ex-spouse, right? Because
Yeah.
of course we want to do that, or we feel the need to do it, especially if we're being attacked.
Mhm.
And I'll be honest, for the first part of it, of course I went through the attack, but then I was finding myself retaliating, and then
Yeah.
again going back to Bonnie, she helped me through all that, right? And
Mhm.
there's no healing that goes on with that. And then the other part is, um, and this is where I have like so much dad guilt. It's no
Mhm.
kid wants or has this agreement that when they're born, their parents are going to split up, right? And
Mhm.
so it's just a really crappy part of what's become common in our world today, right?
Mhm.
And so, man, I would just say, because it's hard, but more than ever, you got to put your children's needs and feelings first. And that doesn't mean baby. I'm like the one thing I found myself doing through some of the divorce was allow myself to get walked on a little bit from them just to kind of keep them at ease or in appeasement.
Mhm.
But I once I noticed that, I realized they wanted the structure, they wanted their normal disciplines because it helps them stay, on path. But
Mhm.
then just keep as much positive as possible and never, again, never badmouth the other.
Mhm.
That's
Mhm.
like if there was one thing I would just hone in on over and over and over. Don't badmouth the other.
I agree. As watching people walk through it, I totally agree with you. It's like breaks my heart when I just and everyone has the right. I mean, you have every right if if you feel attacked. I mean, you have every right to like sit badmouth that person, but to protect your children and to do the right thing. I think that's really great advice to never
Yeah,
badmouth that person.
and again, we talked about this a little bit earlier of how I shifted my mindset. I
Mhm.
saw those things as opportunities to show my children how to respond. Because
Yeah.
times too, they were being put in the middle
Right.
about different messages that they were hearing.
Mm.
And I'm not going to mention where those messages came from, but they were about dad, and they'd come back to dad. And then I just find myself being, all right, I could do two things here. I can try to defend myself and then
Mhm.
badmouth, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's not the case. And your dad's here for you. And I'm not going to talk bad about anyone. I'm not going to talk about other people. I mean, all that is just wasted energy.
Yeah.
And it's an opportunity for me to teach them, hey, if you ever get in a situation like this in your life, learn quickly, take this path. So,
Yeah. Yeah. I think whatever we feed grows bigger.
mm,
Whatever you give your body, it's either you're giving it something good or you're giving it something bad. In whatever situation, you're either giving a good energy or bad energy. And sometimes we need to give it no energy. Like,
yes,
hear it, okay, and let's move on from it.
I've become very good at that.
Good. Well, I think you've done a lot of work on the personal side. I mean, obviously, you've been committed to your physical health and you've been very disciplined your entire life. And I think you've really dug in and done some really hard work over the past few years and have been very vulnerable. And I've seen you grow. I've only known you for like a little over a year, I think. And I've seen you grow just as a business leader. And you've been very vulnerable with our business group and it really encouraged us. And I've seen lives transformed not just physically, but I think people are changing who they are and they have so much more confidence from working with you. So,
I
um,
love that.
how can
That's what
people
it's
get a
about.
hold of you? Fit6.com. What's the way to get a hold
Yeah,
of
so a few
Josh
things.
Rogers?
So our website is myfit6.com.
Okay.
And then our Instagram is at myfit6 as well as Facebook.
Okay.
And then if you ever want to do independent online training with me, my handle is Josh Rogers _fitness.
Okay. Okay, cool. Well, I'm
Mhm.
excited for the next fitness challenge that you do. I'm hoping you will start it this fall and we will go through it again. I really love your workouts. I like the 6 pillars. I think it's so great and I felt a difference when I was doing it.
Let me ask you this, Kelly, real quick. What is the biggest difference that you love about the workouts?
I think it's just that you hit on everything in
Hmm.
one workout. So when I'm doing hot Pilates, it's very specific to the core and like these small movements and I mean, I get my heart rate up because it's hot in there. It's a different kind of elevating my heart rate. But I
Sure.
think you take me through this like mobility, the stretching, the doing the bands, I think is it's really good.
Hmm.
And I like the group aspect of it that we're doing it with our business, like our business
Yeah,
friends.
that is cool.
And it's fun. I think you make it fun.
Well, good. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. Thank you so much for your time, Josh.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. This was
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, it's really great to spend time with you and super excited about the future for you.
Thanks, Kelly. You're awesome.
Thanks again for joining us today on the Driven Podcast, where we are all about growing relationships in life and business. We hope today's story reminded you that behind every brand, every business, and every big idea, there is a real person choosing to show up, stay rooted, and lead with intention. Your story matters. So keep building, keep loving, and keep doing the hard, beautiful work of showing up in both life and business. We'll catch you next time with another real, inspiring conversation. And until then, never let love and kindness leave you. Always be a fountain, not a drain. And don't ever forget that you are the best.